Hi guys, welcome to Snake Nook. I'm Vanny, and with me right now I have Tsunami. The topic of this video is, now that my snake is getting older and bigger, what am I going to do with it? Personally, I think that the fun is just beginning. You see, when you first get your snake, if you get them young, typically from a pet store or even a breeder, they will be about 3 to 6 months old, usually. And so when you get them and they're that little, they're only like 3 or 4 months old, they're really tiny. And that's usually an exciting time for us, the keepers, because our snakes are little and we're excited to have that new pet snake in the family. So maybe you give it a lot of attention. Your snake can be a little defensive when it's young. You may have to work with it. And your snake may be a little shy and it may take some time. You may have to work with them for a while, but as they continue to grow, I'm sure you'll notice that they will go through a period of tolerating the handler. You can see as they're starting to change and trust you. So I do believe the snakes tolerate us at first. Our pet snakes, when they're little, I think there is a period of time when they are tolerating you, but that should change, guys. It should not always stay there. I think that within time you will see your snake trust you more, and even it will even seem like they're enjoying spending time with you, which is actually pretty cool. A lot of people will actually debate that, and they will say that scientifically, really what the snake is doing is tolerating your presence, tolerating the handling sessions and all of that, which I from a scientific standpoint, I get what they're saying. I really do, because I know that snakes are more primal type animals than like your domesticated dogs and cats. I know that, but if you've been keeping snakes or you're starting to keep snakes, you will notice that they do change with time, and they do behave differently with their keeper. And so I really do think that you can establish some sort of bond with your snake. Of course, it takes time, and I'm still working on mine with Tsunami. But he's certainly more comfortable with me than he was, say, 6 months ago, or when I first got him almost a year ago. For sure, back then, I noticed that he was quite timid. He's always been a docile snake. Oh, by the way, I feel like Tsunami could potentially be a female. Always a docile snake, though, but I do feel like we now have some sort of a bond, and it does take its time, and I think it's only going to improve as I continue to interact with Tsunami. And I feel like he's just getting hardier and certainly more comfortable with me. This is Whirlwind, by the way. I'm sure you've seen her in other videos if you've been keeping up with my channel. She is my biggest snake. She's my sub-adult 3-year-old royal python. She is a rescue from Craigslist. Guys, I'm just trying to keep her in the frame. I usually don't restrict her like this, like keeping her from going where she wants to go. But I'm just trying to keep her in the frame so that we can see her while I talk about her. And now that she's older, guys, she's a lot of fun to hold because she's quite a substantial snake. She's got some girth to her. She's got some length to her. I really do feel like ball pythons have just about the right size length for people that like to handle their snakes. She's not at all heavy. Well, not yet. She's only about 16 to 1700 grams. She still has at least another year to continue growing to put on some size before she is a full grown ball python. Now, Whirly's always been like this. She has always been active. She does not know that she's a ball python, not really. If you told her that she's supposed to be like a pet rock, she would just laugh. And she'd say, "What's that?" Because I really do think that Whirly thinks she is a boa. She's more of a boa than Tsunami, and Tsunami's more of a royal python. Neither one of them really is your stereotypical boa or ball python. They just kind of have their own personalities, if you will. I like to refer to them as distinguishing traits. But yeah, they each kind of do their own thing. Whirly, I can't keep you in the frame no matter what I do. I'm telling you, she's on the go, go, go. And now that she's bigger and more substantial, I feel like I can just let her do a little more free roaming as long as I keep my eye on her, of course, just to make sure that she doesn't get into any tight spaces or doesn't disappear on me, and we're good. She is probably getting pretty annoyed with me right about now because I keep restricting her, keeping her in this little area so she can remain in the frame. Whirly, just give me a minute or two, my dear, and I'll let you move around, do a little more of your own thing, be a little patient with me. And in this final clip, I have another yearling boa. She's a little over a year. Her name is Sandstorm. She's smaller than Tsunami size-wise. She's a little older than him or her. She's from Snakes at Sunset in Florida. We're having rather mild weather in Texas right now. It's December the 16th, and I think it's about 75 degrees maybe a little bit cooler with a bit of a breeze. So Sandstormy will not stay out for too long. And to wrap up this video, guys, I just want to encourage you to please continue to take your snakes out, even if they're getting bigger and heavier. Just make them a part of your everyday life. Keep giving them those enriching activities and outings that they benefit from so much. Well, thank you all for watching, and y'all have a good one. Bye.